Well, hi, Mike.
Hi, Harry.
What's the matter? I thought you had track today.
Oh, I don't feel so good.
Oh, that's too bad. Oh, skipping practice to bone up on an exam, huh?
Well, there's an exam, all right, but... Well, how can you study?
Is this what's on my kid brother's mind?
Of course. It's on everybody's mind. Well, you should have heard the fellas this afternoon.
Yeah, boys, have one last good one before you go in.
Thanks, jerk.
Show your parents there's no sense in staying in school any longer than you have to. I'm going to quit and get a job. And now I'm going to enlist.
Yeah, me too. Go on ahead and get it over with. That's why I'm going to enlist.
Enlist? Well, they wouldn't put a uniform on a baby like you.
There's another baby they're not going to put a uniform on.
How come?
And what goes? I got an angle.
What do you mean you got an angle? Come on, be a sport.
Sorry, fellas, this is my angle. Aw, pay for my Coke, will you?
Yeah.
And give my love to the general.
I wonder what he means.
He's always got an angle about everything. From what I hear, it's brains that'll get you deferred, if anything.
So what? You put it off a little, but it's always us young guys who have to go out and do somebody else's dirty work.
Oh, that's not the point. It's always been us young ones.
Check. And all this talk. Well, maybe I'm just a born hero, but it looks like our job, all right. If it is, well, they can take me anytime they need me.
Sure, who wants to be a shirker, but... Well, gee, I kind of did have plans on going on to...
Sure, but you can kiss all that goodbye.
Yeah, and once you put on a uniform, brother, that's it. The end. And it really is the end. Well, what's the sense of studying or spring training or anything?
When are you leaving? Tomorrow?
You can laugh. You're not...
Not what? Remember, I wore a uniform for a few years myself.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna grab a sandwich. Oh, hi, Mike. Want a sandwich?
Might as well.
You know something, Mike?
No, what?
For a long time, young people have made plans according to a certain basic pattern of living. It's been... Well, here's the pattern. First, you go to grade school. Then high school. Then college. Or work. Now, whether you knew it or not, you've made your plans, most of them, to fit this pattern. What courses you take at school, how hard you study, what activities you go out for, who your friends are, whether you plan to get married or not, and so forth.
Gee, I never thought of it that way.
Okay. Now there's a new pattern. After high school, or working a while, or some college, most fellows will go into military service. Something new has been added to the pattern. But does that mean that you should stop planning?
So your point is, the guys who get along best will be the ones who make plans. Plans that include a period of military service.
And plans for life after service. After all, you've got this ahead of you, and you got time to plan for it. So?
Well, it sounds reasonable.
You think about it. We'll talk about it some more tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Saturday, remember? We've got a job to do. Carry out Dad's plan.
You take that side, I'll take this side, and we'll work our way up.
Okay, Admiral, here, you take this, huh?
Thanks.
Good. How you coming with your plans?
No plans yet, but I've been thinking.
It's a good beginning.
I've been thinking about the way most guys have been looking at this thing. The way they've not been making plans. Well, like yesterday. You know, I was telling you about it. Some guys are always looking for an angle. But I got an idea that's just asking for trouble. Maybe they will get a deferment. But sooner or later, most of us are going in. So why kid yourself? A lot of guys figure, well, it's a job that's got to be done. And they want to do their part. Well, that's probably the right way to look at it. Some fellas are just sore. Well, I ask you, is griping going to help them stay out? Or help them when they get in? You'd probably say they should plan for what's ahead, for service and their life's work, instead of just waiting for things to happen. But what can I plan? When I go in, I'll take orders and do as I'm told. What can I plan for?
A lot. Beginning right there. Think about it. From the day you're sworn in, you will start taking orders. You'll start living the military life. All right. You know what's ahead of you, so start planning for it. Think about it. Think about the many ways it's different from the life you've been living. And think about the many ways it's the same. Find out about service life. Talk to people who really know the facts. The more you find out in advance about what it's like, the more easily you'll be able to adjust to it.
Well, I guess I can find out a lot from you.
There are a lot of other people you can talk to, too.
Yeah, I guess there are.
But there's more to this thing than just talking.
Well, what's that?
Well, you sort of skipped spring training yesterday, didn't you?
I didn't skip, well, yeah, I guess I kind of did.
Well, when you're in the service, you won't be able to skip spring training, or winter training, or any other kind of training. They'll toughen you up all right, but if you're smart, you'll plan for it in advance by looking after your health and getting yourself into top shape. Of course, the services are interested in skill as well as stamina. So when you go in, they'll give you tests to help place you where you can serve best. The more education you've had, the more valuable a serviceman you'll be. And I mean education for the civilian work you want to do. So part of your planning for service should be planning right now what courses you're going to take and how hard you're going to work at them.
You mean I just pick out a service job I like, prepare for it, and tell them where to assign me?
It doesn't always work that way.
I'll bet.
No, they're going to place you where you're needed the most. But you can increase the odds in your favor. And you're ready for any opportunity that comes along.
Well, that way it makes sense.
You know, Mike, you may want to make a lifetime career out of the service. If so, planning is all to the good.
But suppose you figure on just doing your turn and getting out. What should you do? Just figure on so much service and then forget about it?
Doesn't work that way. You know, war has become a highly technical proposition. A lot of men receive vocational training and experience that they can carry right on into civilian life. But you can't count on it. So what then? Well, let's consider this fellow. In his place, what would you learn that has actual application to your future civilian life? Same question might be asked about many college courses. The answer is, you learn how to learn. What's more, you learn how to apply what you learn. No matter what you do, it'll pay you to know how to learn and how to apply your learning. You learn how to take orders and how to give orders. Things a fellow has to learn one way or another before he can go very far in any kind of work. You learn how people work and how they work together. And you learn a lot more about how to get along in the world, provided you recognize these things and make plans to put the most you have into the service so that you can get the most out of it. Well, Mike, you asked for my advice.
Boy, I got it.
Funny thing about Mike, he did follow my advice. Turning out for practice took on a new importance when he began planning instead of worrying about the future. He was out to win in the conference meet, and he was out to get himself in top shape. Planning courses became more important when he saw that his future was something he could plan for. And working at these courses, really doing his best, seemed worthwhile now that he was working toward a goal in service and beyond. Finding out about service life became a subject for serious investigation instead of joke and rumor. Yes, everything Mike did came to have new meaning when he realized the importance of making plans.
See you tomorrow after school, Mike.
Yeah, sure thing. Hey, Ken, I'm sorry, I can't make it.
Okay.
Too much to do. Too much to do. You know, it sure helps when a fella stops worrying and starts thinking and planning.